Hi everybody, welcome to the video section of our Launchmetrics Support Center. Today we are covering how to edit contacts, export contacts, and exporting for updates. Hopefully at this point you've watched a few of our other Support Center videos regarding contacts, so you know exactly how to get to this current Contact Manager page. So I'm going to start by clicking on Search, and to edit a contact, you're going to use the options drop down to the left of each contact name. So for this contact, for example, I know that I've spelt the email address wrong. I've spelt that email wrong. So if I click on the drop down, you'll see the word edit details. And this is where I can go and spell Launchmetrics correctly in the email address. Now you might see this icon here. This is just telling us that there is a potential duplicate. I've used the same email address for all of our examples here, which is why that would happen. Category, let's say I wanted to select or change the category. I could also do that directly here as well. Make any edits to the company information, home information, address, other address. So all of the contacts, all of the categories and fields that I can edit are going to be available to edit for us. So we'll go ahead and click on Update here. So we've just made a successful edit to one contact. Now, if you wanted to edit contacts in bulk, the way that you would do that is by doing an export for updates. So when I export for update, that's by clicking this button down at the bottom of the page. Export for updates, I'm going to click on that. When I click on this, it's going to pull all of the contact information that I currently have in my contact manager from the system. It's going to pull that out. This Excel, it does look similar to a blank contact Excel and what one would look like when you fill it out. The big difference here is that there is an ID column here. This is the identifier. This is how the system knows what contact you're updating, and when you re-import the Excel, which contact to make the changes for. So that ID column is very important. Big thing to note when you are doing an export for update, it is best practice to always go ahead and just save an extra copy. So I'm going to save this very first copy, and I'm going to call it my original export. I'm going to save that Excel. I'm going to put it to the side. I'm going to resave another version of this Excel, and this is what I'm going to call export for update changes, for example. So now I know that I can make all the changes I need to on this Excel, and then heaven forbid that I did make an error. I maybe mixed up some columns and I re-import my Excel really incorrectly. I know that I'm going to be safe because I saved a backup copy of what the system was originally. So it's really, really important when you do an export for update to make sure that you do save a copy of the Excel that comes out, just so you have that as a backup. So now I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to make all the changes that I need to. Let's say I wanted to change, for example, Derek Blasberg to, instead of press, let's just call him VIP, just for example's sake. So I can make an edit like that to the category. If I wanted to add a new type, I can do that as well directly here. Now job title. So maybe I originally filled out my Excels and I didn't include a job title. So now I want to go back and do a job title. So Derek Blasberg, we'll call him Man on the Street. That we know that he does that with Vanity Fair. Tom Brown, he's the founder, head of design at Tom Brown. Leandra Modine, founder at the Man Repeller. So very easy. I can just go ahead and fill out all these job titles. Linda Fargo, senior vice president. Now, if there are columns that you don't want the system to make any changes for, I can go ahead and just remove them. So I'm doing my export for update. I don't want the system to at all touch any information regarding company name, let's say, or company address, just to make sure you don't make any errors. all you have to do here is, and I can go and I can remove all of these columns here. So I'm going to delete them from this Excel, and I'm just telling the system right now, only make changes to any of the fields that are currently on our Excel right now. So anything that was regarding company name, company address, because I've deleted those columns from this export for update Excel, that means that there is no way that the system is going to make any changes to any of those values in those fields. So deleting those columns that you're not using is a really good way to just make sure that nothing that you don't want to get touched gets touched by accident. So really a good pro tip right there. Same thing with a little bit different, but if I go and I remove contacts, if I just click on delete like that, when I import into the system, those contacts aren't going to get deleted or updated. So just make note of that. If you want to delete contacts in bulk, this would not be necessarily the strategy to do that. But like I said, I can leave those in there. I can do that if I want. I just deleted those contacts. It's not going to delete those contacts from my system or anything like that. So feel free to do that if you'd like. You don't necessarily have to. So from that, the changes that I've made were to the category and also the type. And I added a couple of job titles in there. Now it's very important, if you want to make sure that when you do an export for update, that you don't have many other people working also in your contact database. Because if I do an export for update and I make changes, that's going to overwrite all of the information that's currently in the system. So you just want to coordinate that with other users. If you have one of your colleagues making mass changes within the system, if you do an export for update, prior to those changes that your colleague is making, that's going to overwrite the data that they did. So just be very coordinated with your colleagues. Always do an export for update once you know that your colleagues are done working in contacts, let's say, and then go ahead and do that export for update. So now I'm going to re-import this Excel. So to do that, I just go to import contacts. I'm going to select import type contacts, and then I'm going to browse for the file. So this was the export for updates Excel that I made changes to. You also can see that I have that original Excel file that's right here. So that's just going to serve as a backup for me. And now I click on import. So 4 were imported, 0 were skipped. Let's go take a look and see those changes that reflected. So if I go to my contact manager and click on search, you're going to see in here that Derek Blasberg, we changed him to a category VIP, so that happened. We also added fashion as a type for him. We're going to go ahead and just review the layout preferences again. So if I click on layout preferences and I include job title, so I'm going to just drag that right next to the company name and then click on submit. We can see here that the job title, I made job title edits for Derek Blasberg and Tom Brown. Remember on that Excel, I removed Leandra, Linda Fargo, and Kylie Jenner. I removed them from that Excel. So nothing was changed regarding their contact details. So we can really see that example here. I made the title changes for Derek Blasberg and Tom Brown. I removed Leandra from the Excel, Linda Fargo and Kylie, and nothing was updated for them. Let's also talk about how to just do a regular normal export. So where you're not exporting for updates. Perhaps you just want to see who is in my system a category VIP. So to do that, we can just click on the word Excel. If I click on Excel here, that's going to pull for me an Excel of everyone that I currently had searched, so all 7 people. Again, I'm not using company address information here, so maybe this isn't exactly the best report for me, which is why I can go ahead and create a new Excel template. So by creating an Excel template, I can click on Create Template. I'm going to name my template. I'm just going to call it Support Center Example. I can set the template to private so only my user can see it, or I can allow others to use and edit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the headers that I just want. So in my Excel, I want first name and last name, company, job title. I actually like all these headers. These are all the ones that I use in my layout preferences. But maybe I don't really need info on contact group or category. I just kind of want to see what their company, job title, email, category, and type that I have. So I can create that template. And now what I can do is make sure that I have my template selected. And now when I click on export and I open up that Excel, it's going to pull those selected headers that I picked. And now my report is a lot richer for whatever you're looking to run. Now, before, when I exported this, I had not searched specifically for anything. If I wanted to just pull, let's say I just want to see who are all my category VIPs. So the 4. Now when I click on Excel and I export that, only 4 contacts are going to show up. So depending on the number of contacts that are in your search results, that's what's going to pull when you do click on that Excel button. Now you can also email this directly from the system. So if you want to click on email, you can email directly from contacts to whoever you want to email that Excel or sorry, a PDF that's going to come out when you do send that email. It's gonna send to them in a PDF format. If I want to print out or export my report to a PDF, I can click on the print button, and we can open up that Excel within a PDF. So a lot of ways that we can export, and again, this is much different from doing an export for update. The export for update is exporting an Excel where you are planning to make changes in bulk. So hopefully now you have a better understanding of how to edit contacts, export contacts, and do an export for update, which allows you to make changes and edits in bulk. So hopefully this was helpful. We do definitely encourage you to continue to watch our videos on our contacts in our Support Center video page, and hope you have a great day. Thank you.